In this video, we're going to write some code to enable us to drag UI windows. We'll be able to click and drag, and as we do so, they will also be brought to the front. Let's begin. Hello and welcome, I'm your CodeMonkey, and this channel is all about helping you learn how to make your own games with in-depth tutorials made by a professional indie game developer. So if you find the video helpful, consider subscribing. So this is something that is actually very simple to implement, but still completely necessary if you have some sort of game that involves a lot of UI windows. A lot of my games are management games, which means lots of windows with lots of information, and being able to drag and sort them is essential. So over here you can see that I've prepared a bunch of random windows. They have no code or anything special in them, just essentially text and images. They are set up with a very standard window format, so we have a title bar and then the content of that window. The goal is to be able to click on the title window and be able to drag the windows around. Okay, so let's make our very nice script. In here, let's make a new C# script, and let's call this drag window. Now let's add this script to the part of the window that we want to drag. So let's see how the windows are set up. So here's a window game object. As you can see, there's a title game object. Then inside there's the background image, and above it there's the text. So those are the two simple components. Now in here, a good way to set things up is essentially to make a title and then put the things behind it. This way the title acts as a nice container, and I could even stretch and modify what's inside. Okay, so on this parent game object, let's drag our drag window script. Okay, now in here, the way we can do our drag is with the event system. So we go up here and we add using Unity Engine event systems. Inside this namespace is where all the various event types exist. Over here in the editor, you can see that when you create a new UI object, it automatically creates the canvas and also creates a event system. So this is a script that handles all the UI interactions. Now we can go into our code, and in here, to capture behavior in our scripts, all we need to do is implement the various event interfaces. So in this case, we want to go up here and implement the iDragHandler interface. Okay, so this interface requires us to implement the onDrag function. So we can simply use the help of Visual Studio to implement the interface, and there you go, there's the function. So this function is called whenever the cursor moves while the player is dragging the mouse. So just by implementing this interface, the event system will automatically figure out that this script is using it, and it will call this function when the player drags a mouse. So over here, let's just do a debug log, just to make sure that it's working. Okay, so here we are, now let's click. And nothing's triggered, but now I move the mouse, and there you go, there's the dragging event. As you can see, it only fires when the mouse moves. So just like this, we are correctly capturing the event. Awesome. Now, in order to drag our window, the first thing we need is to actually know which one is our window. Since in here we added our script onto the title, but we don't want to move just the title, but rather we want to move the entire window. So here in the script, let's add a nice serialized field for a rect transform. And let's call this our drag rect transform. So this is the rect transform that we want to drag. And now we can go back into the editor. Here's the script and title, and let's drag the parent window onto it, just like that. And now we go back onto the onDrag, and in here, we simply move the drag rect transform. We modify the anchored position, and then we can use the event data. And in here, it has a very nice delta field, which contains the movement from the previous mouse position. Okay, so just like that, it should be working. Let's test. Okay, so here I am. Now let's click. Nothing happens. Now drag. And yep, there you go. The window is following along with the mouse. So I click, I move it. Now let go. And yep, there you go. The window now stops. All right, great. However, you can already see an issue. Let's say I click right up here on the corner. Now I move it to the left, and there you go. It is no longer on top of the corner. So the window is not perfectly following the mouse position. Now the issue in this case is due to how the canvas works. Depending on how you set up the canvas, it will automatically scale things up or down depending on your resolution. Over here, this is the canvas setup that I'm using. So you can see screen space overlay, and here I have the canvas scaler using a reference resolution of 720p and matching with the height. So let's fix our issue. It's actually extremely simple. All we need to do is increase by the delta divided by the canvas scale factor. That is the field which contains how much the canvas is scaled by. So obviously in here we need a reference to our canvas. Okay, so we have our field. Now let's go back into the editor. Now in here, let's drag the reference. So here's the canvas and drag it on there. Okay, so let's see the mouse position when we drag the window. Okay, here we are. Let's grab right on the corner, move it to the left, and yep, there you go. It is perfectly exactly on the corner. So where we grab is where the window gets dragged. Right, awesome. Now let's just quickly apply the same script to these two other windows. So again, they are built in the very same way. So they have a nice title game object. So in here, just pass in the drag window. Now drag the reference to the parent rect transform and also the canvas. And the same thing on this one. So here we are. Now this one can be dragged, this one can be dragged, and this one can be dragged. All right, great. So just like this, we already have our drag behavior working correctly. Now in here, just in case we want to have some more complex behavior on drag, there are two other interfaces we could implement. In here, we could add the begin drag handler, and there's also the end drag handler. So in here, just to test this out, let's make our window transparent on begin drag and back to normal after drag. Okay, so here it is, some very simple code just to test these two events. In here I have a background image and also have a field for the color. Grab the color on awake. Then on begin drag, let's set the color alpha to 0.4 so it's slightly transparent. And we update the background image color. And then on the end drag, we reset the alpha back to 1 and we apply the color to the background. So let's see this in action to see how these two events are being fired. Okay, so here we are, let's try. So I click, nothing, now I drag. And yep, there you go, the background becomes transparent. And now I let go, and yep, it's back to normal. So it is correctly capturing the on begin and on end drag events. All right, great. So now you know how to implement these three behaviors. But now there's one other issue. Over here, being able to drag the windows is pretty great. But as you can see, we have a pretty bad issue, which is the windows are stuck behind one another. So dragging is great, but in here, in order to see what's going on in this window, I have to drag it onto here and then this one in here. Ideally, you want whatever you are dragging to be brought to the top. So in here, we can implement another event. Let's implement the I pointer down handler. So here it is, the on pointer down event. So this function is going to be called when we press the mouse down while on top of this particular object. So when we do that, let's make sure that this window is on top of all the others. Now in here, the way the UI handles visibility is by the order that they are in the hierarchy. So over here, this window is on the top of the hierarchy, so it's the first sibling. And as you can see, it's behind all the others. So essentially, it renders this window, then this one, then this one, so these two are on top of this one. So in order to send this one to the top, all we need to do is make it the last sibling, and there you go, just like that, it shows up on top. So that's what we want to do through code. So now in here, in order to send it to the end of the hierarchy, we simply go into our drag rect transform and we call set as last sibling. So this moves the transform to the end of the local list. All right, that's it. Let's see. Okay, here we are with that one on top. So I move this one, it's on top. Now let's move this one, click, and yep, there you go. Now it's brought to the top. Now this one, bring it to the top, and then. All right, so we can now drag our windows, and by clicking, we can bring them to the top in order to see what they contain. Okay, so everything is working. Now let's see how we can make this nice script very easy to use. Right now in here, it's pretty annoying to have to set all of these fields directly. And if we don't, then we get a null error. So let's try to make it so that the script automatically locates these references if they are not given. Okay, so here we have the bare essentials for dragging. So let's start off by seeing if we do not have a drag rect transform. So if it is null, let's try to find it automatically. If we always set our windows up following the same standard, then this is very simple. Essentially, the drag rect transform will always be on this transform parent, and we get the rect transform. So if you always build your windows using this format, where you have the window and right inside it you have the title which you drag, if you follow this format, then this will work always. So here we automatically get the rect transform for the draggable object. And then we need our canvas. So in here, let's locate our canvas. Now the UI objects are always children of the canvas. So in order to locate this canvas, we can simply go up from parent to parent and we will eventually find it. So in order to automatically locate our canvas, okay, so here we have a very simple while. So we first start off with this transform parent. So while it is not null, because eventually we will reach the root, so it won't be null. But while it isn't null, we simply try to grab the canvas on that transform. If there is a canvas attached to it, then we simply break out of the cycle. And if not, then we go to the parent of that test transform. So this will either stop when it finds a canvas or reaches the root of our scene. And just like that, we've made this script very nice and easy to use. So let's make sure that this works. So here, let's select all of the titles and let's remove all of these references. So now they all have null references. And now let's run the code. Okay, here we are. Let's click and drag, and yep, there you go. It works perfectly. So I can click and drag, it comes to the front and it's draggable, and this one, and everything works exactly as intended. So just like this, our script is very nice and easy to use. Just add the script and don't even have to bother with any references. The script is smart enough to locate the objects it needs to work, which makes it extremely easy to use in any sort of project. Awesome! As always, you can download the project files and utilities from UnityCodeMonkey.com. Subscribe to the channel for more Unity tutorials, post any questions you have in the comments, and I'll see you next time.